Good evening and welcome to another match in the Link to the Past Randomizer League playoffs. We got two really good teams here from the Lost Woods Division, WJP-TBB featuring JTB, and Team Kappa featuring Gammachuu. I am Lumago, one of your commentators, and we are going to see how these two teams are going to match up. This is the first of a doubleheader, so if you enjoy this one, stick around for game 2 immediately after here on SpeedGaming 5. Both these teams finished with some very impressive records in the regular season. Team Kappa with a record of 13-1, and Team Consonant with a record of 10-4. WJP TBB just off their win against Team We're Bad at Team Names in round 1 of the playoffs last week. This is the division finals. So we've got the division champion against the next highest team in the division. And over the next few weeks, we'll hit higher and higher and fewer teams. This is game 1 between these two teams. It's just going to be a no fuss, open 7-7. And I'm thoroughly enjoying the cheap on JTB's end. So in the playoffs, we do have a specific matchup. You can see that it does say the Courage players. These designations were done at the beginning of the season, so these two would naturally face up. Both of them starting at Link's house, so no divergence just yet. But that map check showing us two crystals, Eastern and Hera, and a pendant over on Desert Palace. So gonna need that bow. Gonna need some Death Mountain access. And very similar strategies. Going to the uncle, getting the tree pull for a few single rupees. Okay, 2 big 20s. We'll need some money getting to the bottle vendor. May need to buy some bombs on their way through Kakariko. It's always good to find some money early on. And back to Link's house for JTB. Gonna do the south side of Kakariko first. Probably looking to farm some bombs rather than buy them. Gammachuu gonna take the north route through the Lost Woods, starting from Sanctuary. A few of these bushes here that JTB's picking up will give a 50-50 chance of dropping a bomb. So good way to start finding some bombs without paying for them. There's one. And there's 2. So that's enough to pick up a few free bombs in Kakariko if we so choose. Both getting some information. Gammachuu finding out the heart container up on Lumberjack Ledge, but a lantern out on the race game. Now both these runners I'm sure can do dark rooms with no problem. But that could be our only fire source for a while, and we do know Hera's a crystal. So he is going to go get that lantern. And another heart en route for Gammachuu. And some money, so he may very well buy some bombs. Gonna save and quit, might actually follow JTB. And today in the book depository is the Quake Medallion, so possible entrance into some of our later dungeons, Mire and Turtle Rock, locked by boots. And here's the more South Kakariko check, starting with the tavern, headed north. There's $5 in the till. And this will be JTB's last bomb spent on the chicken hut. Has just enough money to go buy some bombs in the hut south of here. May do that, may chance getting some bombs in several of the many chests in blinds and the well. Now it is going to take the safety bombs. Gammachuu swiftly finishing that race game, winning his lantern. There's where those bombs will come in play. That locked item in the well, locked item in Blind's hut. For an early bottle, you can check Sick Kid with that. He doesn't care what's in it as long as you have it. But nothing much of note here in the well. And I'm joined by Shireen. Shireen, welcome to the game.
Hello. How's it going?
Very good. So we got a couple of good teams, 2 top teams in the Lost Woods division. No real progression so far, just starting out at Uncle and Kakariko. Did find the lamp and now the Cane of Burna here in Kakariko.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good series and a good race. I'm a big fan of both these teams. I know a lot of the runners on both of them. And yeah, and there's a I don't know what you said so far, but this is the first of a double header basically of another one coming up.
Yep, game 2 immediately after this. Sword from that bottle we found in the well. Gammachuu is about to pick that one up.
So far, I'm gonna assume Gammachuu did an Uncle route, and now they're both in CAG.
Yes, actually, they both did an Uncle route, and Gammachuu did Lost Woods, which was a heart container and some money. But JTB went to the south end of Kakariko, and here they're just cleaning out the rest of the CAC checks.
Right. Okay.
Bottle vendor with a bottle. What are the odds?
Yeah, and a fairy inside, which is always fun if you can do some revival stuff. So it's also nice because now we're gonna see someone try to death warp with a fairy. That's gonna be fun.
Naturally.
Yeah. So CAC then mostly empty.
Well, did give us the bottle to get the sword, and with that sword and a lamp, you're starting to think maybe this is showing some signs, but still yet to be seen.
Yeah, usually you want to see one of your 3 potential Dark World pieces in CAC. So it definitely starts to indicate there's going to be a full clear of the light world, but you never know. You could have 5 items in Mini Moldorm. And the Sank had a key.
Yep, Sank with a key. So might make sense if you wanted to go check out Back of Escape. That's, got Dark Cross and then 3 items you could go get. South Shore and Mini Moldorm seem a little bit more tempting at the moment, though.
Yeah, the key is always interesting when you get it up front, because you know that if you go in through the front, you can actually get to the back without the gloves. So that can always be on your mind. But it's a long journey through the sewers.
Yeah, indeed. We may not see escape for quite a while, depending on how these items pan out too.
Yeah, and uncle routing also, it makes you just not want to go back to that whole area until later. But you could be forced to very soon, so it happens.
You mentioned a glove, and there it is.
Okay, so that is a piece that we need. It's going to open up the back of escape for us through accessibility, and it's also going to open up 2 checks on the mountain as of right now.
Yep, Old Man and the inside of Spectacle Rock.
It's interesting to note now, you say they both uncle routed, and they both went to CAC just from separate directions. It's interesting how close they are as far as time, because going south to CAC always comes with like the perks of you're kind of assuring yourself you're going to get some bombs. Oh wow, and remember what I said about that mini Moldarm cave? We got some nice 3 items that are completely useless right now.
Useless now, but you're glad you have them, especially that Cane of Samaria. 2 of our 3 medallions. The third one is locked up on the library. Gammachuu does need to be pretty careful here. He's coming up against those crabs, which will take 2 hearts away, and he's working on half a heart as it is.
He has a fairy, so it's not the biggest deal.
True. You don't want to waste it, though, on crabs.
Yeah, that could be tilting. And he takes them all down. And the crabs do have that pokey prize pack, so they have the 8 bombs, the fairy, the large magic.
Well, I like that powder out of Escape.
Okay, so this means the front of escape has all items. We've gotten the map and the key now. So the front is pretty stacked.
Yeah, so JTB taking the back way in, gonna hit up Dark Cross. Would make sense if he can't actually get back to the front of Escape this way, so he's just gonna finish out with Dark Cross.
I'm not liking this lack of Moon Pearl. I like doing the Dark Cross from the back because, I mean, at this stage, you don't have a Pearl, so it's not... Oh! And that's going to make things a lot easier. That bow is going to make the rest of the Light World decisions pretty easy. We're probably going to see both our runners head straight over to Eastern and Sahasrahla. And... yeah. Other than that, we have the couple mountain checks and a Gina's cave, right?
That's right, and it makes perfect sense to go here. 3 checks in both, 3 items in both Eastern and Sahasrahla. You got that lamp and you have the bow. It's perfectly in logic here. So things kind of working out for both of these. Could have been tempted in going to Eastern first, but decided to go to Escape and make things a little bit easier.
Yeah, the back of Escape and the front of Escape are like different worlds. Like, to me, like, whenever I get gloves, back of Escape's always the first thing I do, because it's like, it's so quick, and there's never a better time because of how close it is to the Sanctuary, so it makes sense the second you get your gloves that your next save and quit, you'll head over there. So Eastern's also going to be fully in logic with the lamp. Um, I'm kind of hoping we find a pearl before we find another piece, because if we do find the hammer first, or the mitts, I'm assuming the hammer, then powder is going to be a nice orphans check.
Yeah, I think the best case scenario, other than maybe Moon Pearl, might be Hookshot, because that would lead you up the mountain, and you could get all the way to the east side.
Yeah, definitely. If it's an Agassiz, then the item you want to see is the mirror. But until you see the pearl, you can't really, think about what's going to happen. Alright, so we see both our runners in Eastern. We got one item and a compass thus far. JTB slightly ahead. I believe he save and quit out of Mini Moldorm Cave, right?
I don't recall. I know he's been having a little bit of connection issues, but I'm not sure if he's saved and quit out of that. He did save and quit
he was
out of both Sanctuary and Lost Woods, so it saved a little bit of time there.
Right. I think he was a little behind Gamma and Mini Moldorm, and I remember him. Oh, and there's the Pearl. Okay.
Nice.
So we got one more item in here. JTB looks like he is not risking the 50-50 here. Playing it safe. There's a 50% chance the item's on the boss, 50% chance it's in Vanilla Big Key. And nothing's worse than going to Vanilla Big Key and then just realizing if you went to Armos, you could have crossed this off your list. And you see Gamma's going to go to Armos right now. And,
Yeah.
you know, if JTB does end up finding the other dungeon item, that's just a minute lost of pure efficiency. So it's a very rough early decision to make.
I've seen Gamma make this play many times. This is something he'll do, and many times it works out. Sometimes, though, it doesn't. We're about to see, and it's just the map for JTB.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because that's time JTB is never going to earn back unless Gamma struggles with execution. Because Gamma knows there's nothing else in here.
Yep. All right, setting up that quick kill on Armos. It's all 6 down. That last item is the hammer. So that's Dark World access with all 3 items.
Yeah. And this is a big reason why a lot of people like to go to the back. Alright, so with that, we got, I would say, a few decent options on the table. We could see an Outcast start, we can see a Hype Cave going west start, and we can see a pod play.
Yeah, Gammachuu is not getting out of here. Oh, he did not do Sahasrara yet.
Yep. So Gamma is going to save and quit, and not just walk over to the pod portal. Which I understand. Maybe you want to go scout Hype Cave first, and I think that's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of good options for him now. Hype Cave, could do Village of Outcasts. But you did mention Pod. Pod is fully clearable. We don't know, though, what the Dark World dungeons are going to be just yet. No one's done a map check. I'm sure Gamma will give us that. All right, Pod and Ice are our 5-6, and our other pendants, Swamp Palace, Green Pendant, Turtle Rock.
Yeah, those are some yikes pendants. Some of the longest dungeons. But at least it's not Pendant Thieves Town.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. You get some boots and another red item out of Hype Cave.
Oh, with like 3 back-to-back chest turns there. That was pretty nice. Yeah, and the boots, this is a big reward for going Hype Cave, and we see JTB's right here. So, they're pretty much neck and neck. JTB skipped Ice Route Cave. Gamma skipped the Vanilla Big Key in Eastern. And Gamma is going to go to Pod, but he is going to stop at the Pyramid first.
Yeah, it's an open check. It's one that you don't want to just leave for too long in case there's something valuable. And
I don't particularly like this too much with the fact that Pyramid Ferry is pretty close to accessible. But when you have boots and you're going to Pod, it just makes sense to not risk anything here. JTB is going west, though. He is going to take out Stumpy and Dig Game, which will set him up for a nice dip when he does go into Outcasts. It means that he has the option of doing outcasts first and not offering anything.
Sure.
Provided he doesn't find mitts.
Yeah, at the same time, he doesn't have the mirror and he doesn't have mitts, so coming through the south
This is a save
side
and quit.
first is kind of a gamble.
Yeah, this is 100% a save and quit. It basically means that if he were to go to outcasts, he has the option of, let's say, doing outcasts first and then save and quitting in Skullwoods. But yeah, the pod play is definitely a more appealing play here, being that it's full clearable. It doesn't get much faster once you have boots by Hype Cave. And we have the lamp, so no worry about dark rooms.
Yeah, 5 items is nothing to joke about.
So do we want to place any bets that Gamma is going to take a Death Warp in here with his fairy at some point?
You know, it could be after Dark Maze. That's usually a spot where you would mirror, but without a mirror, you're going to Death Warp, and he still has that fairy. All right, so did get that one item out of the shooter room, did go to the right side, bowl locked, no problem. 2 more items up here, and he's should have enough keys after that to start head to the back.
And that big key is pretty nice because it means if he wanted to, he can do boss first and then save and quit out of the back, which would mean he wouldn't have the mirror problems. But he is going to do the back first. This... Oh.
No, is he going right to Helmasaur?
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, going to Helmasaur now is a better route when you don't have the mirror, because it means you could just go back in and save and quit out of Dark Maze, because you've already done everything. Not sure why he grabbed that... Oh, okay, he grabbed that chest so that he would have a key to go back in the front door. He didn't want to have to do both side again. Because, right, there's 4 keys in the front, and he did not get one. Yeah. Alright, so JTB, I didn't see what he got out of Bonk Rocks.
I didn't see Bonk Rocks, but we did see the C-shaped house. Did not have anything. And so Thieves Town, not so bad either. This is a rather quick dungeon. He does have the hammer, so if there's anything in that big chest, he has no problem getting it.
Yeah, I'm a little scared for JTB here. You know, coming to Outcasts without mitts or fire rod. And Gamma onto the Helmasaur fight with Green Mail, 6 hearts. I'm gonna have to yell at him later for holding out his sword.
Well, it does make it a little bit easier. You do extend the hammer hitbox a little bit, and with only he's got to be very careful here. Only that a few hearts.
Yeah, that. Uh-oh, that was a Helmasaur pattern right there. Oh boy.
There he goes. Knocks him down with arrows.
Yeah, if he didn't have an invincibility item right there, that would have been over.
Alright, so just one item found out of Palace of Darkness right now. Gammachuu likely to head back in, finding the other 4.
That is also our first 5/6 crystal. Our other being ice, which we are mitts and flippers if you wanted logical access to get in there.
JTB finding the flute in the attic of Thieves Town.
So that is one of the better items you can get here. It means that he will be able to flute to pod when he wants to do it. And since he's already done Hype Cave, there's no real orphans there. It does mean he's going to have to come back to activate the flute, but that's just what it is. Okay, so Gamma didn't grab the basement chest, which has the third small key. I don't know why he's bombing that. He doesn't have a key. Oh,
He's just going to drop
He's
down.
going through it, okay. He's just doing this as a drop down to get his third key. Fourth key logically locks itself. So, in the back, we're going to have 2 keys. Yeah, whenever you do the boss first in pod, it makes the routing a little bit more interesting, because your normal key counts all change. Alright, so we got a heart piece out of the big chest in Thieves. Not really sure how many items we have so far.
I've seen 3. I don't know if we saw the 4th. Bombs were in the first chest. We did see heart piece right there, and the flute, of course. All right, gonna find at least 1 key in the back here. JTB on the 3rd phase of the script takes down Blind very nicely.
So we got 2 keys here, which means that Hellway is going to have something.
Mm-hmm.
And that for JTB. So he is done with Thieves, he came up with the flute. Which is a nice find.
Yep, Gamma's still looking for anything progression-wise in Palace of Darkness. Did get that 5/6 crystal off of Helmasaur, but nothing else of note, really.
Yeah, just some big 20s. I mean, it routed kind of nicely because of the early big key, so that's nice.
Lots of big 20s here.
It's just a heart container on the bumper ledge.
So we will get the checks out of at least the front of Skullwoods. 2 items here. Chance that they could both be fire locked, though.
Okay, and we see the shield in Bonkrox. That's what JTB got earlier.
Right, so his 3rd shield is going to be in the Dark Maze.
Alright, so Gamma to follow in Outcasts. We already know what is over there. We got a couple new checks on JTBs. And then the flute isn't gonna open anything right now. Oh, I guess he got... Okay, that's the second item then.
Yep, 2 items there. So you could go up to the mountain and get the old man, get Spectacle Rock. We do have Front of Escape.
I think we're gonna see JTB activate this flute and take care of Pod. And we're gonna kind of see them sync up now a little bit. He also hasn't done Ice Rod Caves, so that will definitely help him check that.
True. Yeah, it'll drop him right down the path.
Also, having the boots and the pearl now, you know, which they didn't have on their first trip. JTB has the money if he wanted to, you know, and depending on how he routes this, it may be more appealing, but he can do Ice Rod Cave into like a water walk. You know, not so appealing if you have Pod on the table, but we know Pod is empty.
Yeah, I think a more intelligent routing, like you're saying, is Palace of Darkness, but we're gonna check out the bat first. We did get the powder pretty early, and the hammer shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Gamma stealing the key here to ensure being able to do the front. He's not even gonna check left side, which is unfortunate. Small time loss.
Well, it's a good place to have the shovel at least.
Yeah,
It's not too far.
That's a nice shovel.
And that'll be the first thing JTB checks before heading out to anything else interesting.
So Gamma, and yeah, he's gonna grab the Quake and the shovel. So Gamma not doing Stumpy or Dig Game, I think is gonna do Thieves Town South and then save and quit from Stumpy. And JTB is dashing over to turn on the shovel. Gamma's gotta watch out with his health. I mean, he still has the fairy.
Wow, so there's flippers, which we will need for, well, logically for Ice Palace. You never know if something's in Swamp.
Yeah. So now that Water Walk is even more appealing because it's all in logic.
All right, so we had Powder in Back of Escape, and we had a bow in Dark Cross, to the hammer on Armos, to the shovel on the bat, to flippers.
Yeah. That's a pretty interesting sequence so far. And JTB's arming a Water Walk. So he's going to check this all out.
Yep, dash out of the cave and hit the wall as you're leaving. And you set up this water walk, can dash through the water rather than swim. Saves more than a few seconds here.
Yeah, you gotta be careful not to touch the shallow water when you have flippers, otherwise it will go back to your normal state. And a good heads up there by JTB.
All right, Hobo, just with some pocket change. Yeah, we do have enough money for Zora, and could get Zora ledge with those flippers as well. But Flute tells us we're going to do something else. Maybe.
Yeah,
nope.
And who wants to swim back from Hobo when you can just flute back to E?
Yeah, that's a good call by JTB to save that little bit of time, because as we mentioned, both of these teams are, you know, the top two teams in the Lost Woods division, and you can't take any chances at this point.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna be seeing Mitts here shortly.
Mitts or Mirror or Hookshot, something that leads us to significant progression.
An ice rod works. Nice pendant TR. So.
And JTB ignoring that ice rod.
That is a play. It's a green pendant turtle rock, so I don't know.
That's it. It's a green pendant turtle rock, so obviously it's going to have something. That's an interesting call by JTB.
I understand if he can feel behind already with, you know, the Eastern vanilla big key play, and like this is his way of just cutting out some time. You know, it's definitely a high percent play. But he's not going. You're never going back for that. So it's a very committing to the high percent play there.
Yeah, and won't really lose that much time in Palace of Darkness. Gammachuu also had to full clear this. Did not wind up with anything, so we know there's not going to be any progression here for him.
So, what is next? We have our front of escape.
There's 3 items in front of escape. We had the key and the map very early. And there's 2 checks up on Death Mountain. Something here has to have, we mentioned, hookshot, mirror, or Titan's Mitts, I think.
I think it'd be more fun if we don't see the hook shot for a while. Maybe make these runners sweat a little bit.
Yeah, we do have actually another Sphere 1 check, Agina, we did not check.
Yes, with the flute, that's not too big of a deal. But, yeah, I mean, if it's front or escape or Agina's, both of the runners are going to feel bad when they find it there. I mean, there's nothing else that, you know, you just gotta assume that your opponent has had it before coming to, you know, either Outcasts or the mountain, depending on where it's gonna be.
Right.
You know, with the flute, I feel like one of our runners will definitely do the old man relatively soon.
Yeah, even if they don't end up finding mirror or hookshot, they're going to have to think, well, I haven't found it yet, so one of those 2 has to be on the mountain. Just depends on what the next big progression item we find is.
So Gamma's gonna activate his flute. Probably do the shovel and magic bat there to get his flippers.
Yeah, which as of now don't lead to anything. You can always fake flipper into Ice Palace, but if there's something behind Swamp and he skips out, no, he's going to do it. Maybe he's not. He's juking. Can't tell where he's going.
So it's looking so far that JTB has gained up some time here. Definitely.
Yeah, did do a few skips that Gammachuu had done.
He hasn't done the pyramid yet.
That's right. Heads up by JTB having that fairy releasing the fairy just as he's going to set up a death warp. And here comes the bat for Gammachuu. Going to get the shovel out of here, which will lead to the flippers. And Catfish, you know, another play that these runners could have made on their way to pod or from pod. Neither has.
Yeah, and I understand it from both perspectives. You know, Gamma was going to pod via Hype Cave. You know, you don't want to skip out on a crystal dungeon / you know, you have all of Outcasts still just to check it. You know, check it later. And JTB had the option of fluting there, so for him it's even less. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing these death warps, and this is, you know, where that going to the back first, going to the boss first, can save you some time.
Yeah, because he actually did 2, one in Dark Maze and then one in the basement. So, yeah, definitely showing how that change, while it could throw your key count off, just based on memory, can be quite efficient. All right, Gamma gonna check out Zora area, and we know there's an ice rod up here. It'll be interesting to see if he grabs it. JTB did skip it earlier.
I think Gamma's gonna grab it. But I may be wrong. We'll find out.
Well, you got to think. In order to even get through Turtle Rock, you got to have the mitts. You may need a fire rod, both of which. Yeah, so the fire rod could be in there, in somewhere in Turtle Rock, up to Trinex if the key layout is right. Mirror could be in there, so you don't know if Mirror's on Trinex or something.
Well, I'm thinking now, looking at our tracker, maybe I'm wrong, but I think by the time we have TR access, we'll be in hookless go mode, potentially. Looking at the dungeons that are left, right? Because you can't kill Trinex without the fire rod. So that's
Sure.
Skullwoods and Ice Palace, because, you know, Mitts opens ice. We have all 3 medallions, so that's Mire. So by the time we even get into TR, that's gonna be Crystal mode. I don't know that any of our runners know how to hover or bounce.
That was going to be my question. If either one of these two do, I also don't know.
I know Gamma does not. I know that for sure.
All right, not many places left to go. Gammachoo's going up the mountain, rescuing the old man. One of 2 checks that he can get until he finds something big here.
So now Gamma skipped Hobo and JTB skipped Pyramid. Just trying to keep track of how they're gonna last location.
All right, if there's nothing here for Gammachoo in Spectacle Rock, it's looking like it's either Agina or the front of Escape.
It's crazy thinking that TR is almost off the table when it comes to go mode. Like, looking at... Man,
Is that the fire rod? Or was that an arrow?
That was an arrow.
Ah. Oh, Spike Cave.
Oh boy, I can't wait for this front of Escape play. I'm gonna be excited for that. Oh boy, Gamma.
He's gonna cut it close here.
He has fairy, right? I think he does.
He does, I think. Yeah, he did not need to spend that for a death warp.
Alright, Gamma, what's it gonna be? Which Sphere 1 or Catfish are you gonna pick?
It's going to Escape, so this is good. This is probably the... this is, you know, unfortunately 41 minutes in, the best option he has now. And JTB also going to be faced with that decision. Where does he go right after this? Bottle number 3. 2 items still here in the boomerang chest and Zelda's chest.
I'm alive. My internet cut out.
Master Sword. So still looking for Mirror, Fire Rod, I guess. Hookshot, unless you know how to hover.
2 items in Skull, so the Fire Rod's not going to give us too much right now.
Yeah, we did find those 2 items. You're right. So we've got Catfish and Nagina.
Nice to have that sword, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a Master Sword. Sure. Gamma Head and...
This looks like a Catfish play.
Yep, this will be the quickest way for him to get up to Catfish.
I'm surprised he's making this play before touching Hobo or Gina's.
In those kind of cases, you almost stick to your guns. Just like we said, when is JTB ever going to pick up Ice Rod again? That's a hard skip. Hobo may be a hard skip for Gamma. JTB did not check the Lumberjack, which just has a heart container, so he'll be a bit disappointed in about 15 seconds.
All right, here we go.
Looking for a big item here. There's the top mitts.
So, Ice Palace?
Ice Palace or Misery Mire. You could now get into Mire Shed, and Mire itself is completable. We got a King's check for 2.
JTB gonna be right behind Gamma on this Catfish play.
Question from Chet: is the mirror required? Mirror would be required if we had to go to Swamp Palace, or there's progression behind it in an overworld check, or if we don't find the hook shot. We need one of those two to mirror the hook shot to get up to the rest of Death Mountain.
Yeah, so we're missing Fire Rod and East Death Mountain access, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So now, does JTB go to Ice Palace or does he go to Misery Mire? Because Ice Palace, when you're still looking for items, is a bit longer. Mire is going to be, roughly the same either way.
Yeah, with Icebreaker, Ice Palace is a lot more appealing, but it's definitely still, it's definitely faster in Go mode. Being that both of our runners are certainly going to be looking for the hook shot, I think neither one is going to be a terrible play at this point.
Yeah, JTB also hitting up the potion shop. Gonna get, getting a red potion, and that's it. Okay. Figured he might get a green potion if he was gonna go to Ice Palace.
It's Mire time.
So here's Icebreaker. You gotta clip into this wall using a door state extension, and you'll be able to place a Samaria block, get through the wall. Gammachuu having a little bit of trouble setting it up. It is pixel perfect. Silvers are nice. Gammachuu pulling off that Icebreaker. First male upgrade. That's our first item, I believe, in Ice Palace.
Alright, so this is going to be some fun divergence.
Yeah, and actually, JTB picking up those silvers not a moment too soon, because those will help him take out Vitreous much better than his Master Sword will. All right, item number 2 in Ice Palace is just a heart container. Perhaps it was 3, or Gammachuu is
Yeah, we didn't see
banking on that one.
chest. We didn't see the first chest, so it's very possible.
All right, does have blue mail that he picked up, so that'll help on Cold Stare. Master Sword's still going to be a little bit of a longer fight.
Alright, I didn't a hook, fire rod, or mirror in Gamma's inventory. So I think it's safe to say there was nothing there.
Well, he got a great start on this Cold Stare fight, bullying it all 3 puffs into the corner. A spin taken out 2, and a few slashes taken out that last one. So that's his other red crystal. That opens up Pyramid Fairy. 2 checks in there, and easy to get to. Might be a logical check before going to Misery Mire at this point.
Yeah. Not having done any of Mire area, be interesting to see if Gamma goes. So, I haven't been following. I saw JTB did the first 2 chests. He got his big key in left side Mire in the spike room, and then he went to the boss. So I don't know what his item count is right now.
I am also not aware. Gammachuu about to pick up those silvers in Mire Shed. Is JTB going to put those to good use here, facing Vitreous?
And that's an item. So...
Yeah, so... maybe an orphaned item here in Misery Mire.
that might be the second one.
That's possible. Nope, going back in. Or not.
Yeah, I like this skip. I mean, you went to the boss with 0 items, which is very bold, right? Normally you'll go with 1 item and try to, see if you can snag the second one. You got an item off Vitreous. So, definitely an understandable skip when you're pretty close to go mode. You have Ice Palace, you have Pyramid Fairy, you have the Smith sequence.
Yeah, that's right. Smith sequence is now open, so we do have Blacksmith Purple Chest and the hook shot, or I'm sorry, the hammer pegs. Still, definitely a bold skip when you're looking for some very key items, and you're running low on locations at this point. I think that's where JTB is going to head, is that Smith.
Yeah, I think he was thinking maybe just to go to ice, but he's already here, so this could net him a big advantage. If he gets a mountain access item here, that will potentially put him in a very good spot, because with the whole mountain open, you know, you gotta figure you'll hit go mode up there, right? Okay, so we're gonna get to see the second item here from Gammachuu. And this is going to be interesting because depending on where this is, the time sink can be getting greater and greater. Oh, the hook shot. There it is.
There's that hook shot behind the gloves that we found on Catfish at both runners' last location.
That is
or near last location.
That's a play, because who's going to want to go to Smith's when you don't have the mirror? And he's picking up the Smith.
JTB.
Wow. He's picking up the Smith. Okay. I think he's going to turn in the Smith now and beeline the mountain. He's going to turn in the Smith and beeline the mountain. He doesn't have the mirror. He's going to take the hook shot and just cover his tracks. Meanwhile, Gamma is still looking for this first item for him, second item for us.
Gonna be in one of the right side chests.
Yeah, big chest or...
Yep, strongly considering another option, but with that hook shot opening up all of Death Mountain, really, light and dark, plus Tower of Hera, you might as well go for it.
Yeah, this is a good play.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that was a good, that play worked out. I mean, I'm not sure what's keeping JTB away from Ice Palace right now, but it is putting him in a good position.
Well, there was our second item. It was just bombs, so great skip for JTB.
Yeah, and this is, you know, the second item. It's like, if it was in lobby, Gamma would have that mine for only spending 15 seconds. But it's not in lobby, and then it's not Vanilla Big Key, and suddenly that 15 seconds turns into 2 minutes. And, you know, that's when you start sweating. But JTB is going to get away with that skip. And we now can confirm he is also going to get away with the Ice Rod skip, as Green Pendant and Trinex is off the table. And that's the Fire Rod. That's go mode.
That is indeed go mode. 57 minutes and about 10 seconds for JTB. So that's what was probably keeping him away from Ice Palace. You did see Gammachuu have to make a few extra checks. Did run into the items quickly, but when you can go mode Ice Palace, you go mode Ice Palace.
And JTB's going straight for Hera. Not gonna check Dark Death Mountain. He knows he's in go mode. And what a turn of events here. Gamma, I'm not even sure if he's gonna go straight for those Smiths, because, you know, as we talked about, he has Pyramid Fairy. Might want to capitalize on that Ice Palace.
So JTB still may be looking for a sword just to get a little bit of an edge. He has the big key. Gonna set up the Hera pot anyway. Here's your book.
Ooh, hook speed. Here we go. Oh, baby. That's a fun trick.
Yeah, I love the hook speed Hera pot. And so there was one item. Just gonna get right up to Moldorm after that.
And I'm ready. I'm watching Gamma right now. I want to see how close this race is gonna be. And Gamma's going into the Dark World. That's Pyramid Fairy for him. He would have pulled out that flute if he was going over to Outcasts.
Imagine if he gets the mirror in Pyramid Fairy. I wonder if he gets baited into going to Swamp Palace.
I feel like the mirror works in your favor also because Smith Chain is just that much more appealing once you get it. You know, K45's right there.
That's very true. JTB did have to do the save and quit to get that, to get the Smith.
Mirror would also open up the mountain via the other access, via the Mirror Hammer. So he would also probably full clear Turtle Rock first.
Yeah, until he finds that hook shot and uses that to get the fire rod out of Paradox Cave, he's going to be searching for both those items.
But yeah, it would be interesting if he finds the mirror here and then the fire rod, because then from his perspective, this is a pure hover seed. And then I'm sure Fear Agent's gonna yell at him for not hovering.
All right, red mail. Nice, but not what we're looking for.
So no items left in Skullwood, so we shouldn't be seeing any more checks here.
Yeah, we should barely be seeing any more checks from JTB. Would be nice to have a tempered sword on his end. That Master Sword is a much longer Ganon fight than tempered. Still a few places he could pick it up somewhere along the way, maybe in the tower, Ganon's tower.
So Gamma is going to end up picking up the Smith here most likely, which, you know, he'll have to at least drop off before he goes to the mountain. So he still has a little bit to go. And he's going to like that hook shot.
Well, he's now committed to doing the Smith.
Yeah, he has no choice. He has to at least drop him off, and once you drop him off, you have to check it. So with that play, I'm giving JTB now a 2-3 minute lead. You know, he still has Ice Palace, so that's gonna definitely be time consuming. But he's already done Mirrorless Hera and has his Fire Rod, and he's ahead of Skullwoods. So I think JTB has a small lead.
That was a really close wall master.
Yeah, I saw that wall master. That was that was too close for comfort there. Another thing to note is it is red mail to green mail difference right now. JTB did buy potions, so he is good on that.
Ooh, and you know what? That's a good point, just given where those mails were. JTB is not going to pick up Pyramid Fairy's mail, and it very likely he doesn't pick up the one on the way past Icebreaker and Ice Palace, too.
All right. I'm curious to see how Gamma is going to handle this Fire Rod. We have silvers. I feel like both of our runners won't search for anything more right now. I think that when they go up with 7 crystals, they might take a dip into Hookshot Cave. Maybe not. I know Gamma probably won't with red mail silvers. But you never know. Depends on the nerves, depends on how the runner's feeling. If you're going through Super Bunny as your means to get to Ganon's Tower, then you may as well check it.
Yeah, it's quick at that point. And you could find that that next sword upgrade. There's Gammachoo's Fire Rod, putting him in go mode at 1 hour, 3 minutes, and about 45 seconds. So not going straight to Hera.
I don't know. I'm not so sure I'm a fan of this.
No, he's going to end with Hera. That's the plan.
The problem with ending with Hera is if you don't have the mirror. But yeah,
oh,
I mean,
you're right.
He's gonna have to go the long way to Hera, and he can't mirror, so it's like, eh. It works. It doesn't matter either way too much.
You're right. It mirrors one of those things that at this stage you almost assume you have, but not having it, it's
just gonna tack
cost
on
him a
time.
bit of time.
It's just gonna tack on time on the back end because he's gonna have to go through Paradox, head over to Hera, then head back and do Turtle Rock, which, you know, it doesn't matter.
All right, JTB's still checking chests, so very possible he runs across the blue mail. No, heading straight out of here. So going to be in for a bit more challenging cold stare fight and Ganon thereafter, but on his way to cold stare nonetheless.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, and I don't know that this makes a huge difference, when Gamma does go back to Hera, he's going to have to go the top route, which means he's going to end up entering through the TR portal. So there's a 0% chance he's going to check Super Bunny. Not that it may make a big difference. If JTB route the same way, it doesn't matter. But I'm just thinking about potential swords, you know, because a tempered is still a decent deal when it's this close.
That'll do it for Mothula.
So Gamma has 6 crystals. He's got to just go up the mountain, do Hera, then walk over to the portal. And JTB should be at 7 crystals shortly, provided he can finish off the cold stare. He has Fire Rod for this, which Gamma did not.
Yeah, JTB, though, not having as quick of a fight, does get him down. So that's going to be JTB's 7th crystal, isn't that right? All right. So that being JTB's 7th crystal.
Yeah,
Get your guesses in for the Ganis Tower Big Key guessing game. Guess a number 1 through 22. Please, integers only. No E, pi, or any of that other stuff. No fractions. Or you won't wind up on the leaderboard, no matter how funny it is. And we'll see where that Ganis Tower Big Key is in Ganis Tower's basement. Any guesses, Shereen?
I'm going to go with 10.
All right.
But JTB stopping for potions again. This is gonna be a lot closer than, because Gamma is wasting 0 time here. He's not checking the basement for anything. He's going straight up.
Yeah, this is now super close. JTB heading up to Ganon's Tower, and Gammachuu fairly closely behind him, already up there on the Light World end, up to Moldorm. And both these runners have skipped some very strategic spots. Has worked out for both of them. Came across all of the items along the way, so don't count either of these runners out. Here's your call on Super Bunny. As long as you're there, might as well check it. All right, JTB heading west, and these two are going to get a high five across the bridge as Gamma's going into the Dark World via the Turtle Rock portal. JTB heading into Ganon's Tower. Last few seconds for these guesses on where that crystal's or that big key's going to be. I didn't guess yet. I'm going to go for number 9.
109, sub 110 entering GT, relatively fast.
Yeah, this was a total jet seat here. As long as you played it the right way, and both of these runners have played it excellently. All right, JTB on the right side. Number 1 is bombs. Number 2, half magic. That's a good one to have. Does not have a key, so not going to be able to do the right side just yet. All right, 300 rupees. If Gamma goes full left, this is tied up. He's going to go right first. Four and 5, no big key still.
So JTB looks like he has around 45 seconds to burn. 40 seconds to burn on execution, assuming their routes stay the same. With a Master Sword, you know, execution definitely will matter more.
Yeah, I would not call really any time again this tower time to burn, especially at this close. We're up to key number 8. We've done 8 on JTB's end.
Yeah. JTB has, I want to say 4 potions. I don't even know, but he should be good to go.
Yeah. All right, numbers 10 through 13 coming up in the rando room. And 11, both rupees. There's your 3rd sword.
Okay. So that's gonna help both our runners.
Yep, both runners will end up with tempered silvers. The difference, though, the big difference is mail. JTB on green, Gammachuu on red.
I don't know that the mail's gonna come into play. I mean, JTB has a 40-second lead. He's got potions if he needs. You know, if he takes a little bit of time, 40 seconds is a fair bit to work with when you're talking about, you know, movement. Obviously a death.
Sure.
Obviously a death is problematic. But
that menuing and the time it takes to refill your health is going to eat away at those 40 seconds. It's shorter than you realize, I think.
JTB,
we're up to just 15. Go ahead.
JTB spent a lot of time buying potions, so you might see him play a little bit more aggressive, which might play to his favor. We'll only see by these gauntlet climbs.
15, 16, and 17 tell us that the big key is on the right side.
And they both took the exact same route, so...
Yeah, well, they didn't have a key after Hope Room, so they had to go to the left side.
And
was
you're
it
stuck.
Key? Yeah.
You can't Dark Magician properly without a mirror, so you don't really have a choice of how you're gonna route.
All right, could be any of these 4 chests in the compass room, or God forbid, tile room is still a possibility here for both these runners. Five checks left. Got number 18. Nothing. Number 19 to number 20 is our big key.
And here comes the Death Warp, which is much faster on Green Mail. And that's going to be some time save.
All right, JTB entering the Mimic Room at 1:14:50. And yes, that Death Warp for Gammachuu. He's got to release that fairy. There he goes.
Alright, so nothing left but execution. Both our runners have one key, so they will both be most likely killing the mini Helmasaur room.
Looked like that was a 44-second difference heading into that Mimic Room.
We'll see if JTB can hang on.
You got really a few slick rooms in the Gauntlet, or good Landmolus 2 could really start to set this one apart. Mindful of his health, mindful of his armor.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you stop to powder that anti-fairy, it throws off the cycle of Landmo, so that not getting the one cycle there, and that was what, a 3 cycle?
Yeah, there was a 3 cycle. So it looked like 1:16:32, I think, was the Landmo 2 kill. Gammachuu very quickly behind JTB. A 33-second difference between these two runners heading up the tower.
Oh boy. Is he gonna have to redo the torches here? Okay, he made it through.
Made it through just in time.
Oh. Even with the bonk and the fall. Okay. That is gonna prevent a catastrophe. Still holding on to this lead by a couple rooms. As Gamma's getting bodied by the bridge.
Very quick Moldorm 2 for JTB. Just appearing at 1:18:09. Gammachuu making up some time. This is the first game between these two teams, WJP, TBB, and Team Kappa, in the division finals for the Lost Woods. Stick around after this race, 11:50 on SpeedGaming 5, right here for Game 2.
Decent pattern here. go. Okay. And down goes Aga as Gammachuu enters Aga.
Yep. If he can pull off a few quick cycles here, he can make up a lot of time heading into this Ganon fight. There's a triple right off the bat.
Forgetting about cycles, just in Ganon alone, when you're talking about doubles and triples with the silvers, getting a 1-in-1, that's already enough to make the difference here. As Gamma gets a really clean fight there.
Yeah, JTB does have to be a little careful. He does have plenty of potions, but a couple of quick hugs from Ganon will set him far back, and Gammachuu will be in the driver's seat.
And JTB's got the
on
1-in-1.
phase 2.
He's got the 1-in-1 set up.
Pulling out the cape, making sure he can get to phase 3 quickly. Gammachuu not getting that quick cycle on Ganon.
Yeah, and that might win right now. He needed this Ganon. But JTB still... Oh, okay, he's at 3 hearts green mail. He's just gonna try to finish Ganon off. No time for a potion.
There really isn't. He's heading onto the 4th phase of Ganon. Gets his first hit of the silvers.
He might be okay. Almost could have had a triple there. And 1, 2, and 3. He gets the triple, and just the fanfare.
Get your GG's in chat for JTB. Gonna have to cross this bridge, get to the Triforce room, and then finishes in a time of 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 22 seconds. GG.
Wow, that was close.
Yeah, it's very close. Gammachuu finishing off Ganon, not too far behind.
Yeah, about a 30-second difference here.
You were close, 29 seconds. So Gammachuu finishing at 1 hour, 21 minutes, 51 seconds.
Yeah, time was gained, time was lost. JTB ultimately held on to that. Yeah, that was a good race.
That was an excellent race. We'll see if we can get both JTB and Gammachuu in here soon. I'm sure we have more than a few questions to ask them about this one. We're joined both by Gammachuu and JTB. GG, both of you.
Yo, GG, JTB.
JTB, just check your mic settings. Just make sure we can hear you. So, what did you guys think about that seed? I mean, it was certainly a jet, but what do you think?
Linear / trashy seed. I didn't really like it. It was really a choice between Pyramid Fairy or Smith's Chain without the mirror. So that's what I went with when I found the mitts. Fortunately, I chose wrong there.
Yo, how do I sound now?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Cool.
Yeah, JTB, sorry, we were just asking Gammachuu which you guys thought of that seed.
Yeah, very, very linear. Back some of the gambles I took, but yeah, that was just you were on the right path almost the whole time. It just came down to like where were Mitts and where was Fire Rod.
Well, both of you nearly last location to Mitts. I think all that was left at that point was Catfish and Agina.
Oh yeah, I still
Yeah.
haven't even touched Aginas yet.
That's Spike Cave too, but both really crappy places to go to.
Indeed. And then the other part was nobody had found Mirror nor Hookshot, and we were wondering what was going to be our access to East Death Mountain. If it was the Mirror, you may have ended up with a hookshotless seed, and then it just kind of comes down to if you're able to hover or not. I'm not sure if either one of you were prepared to do that.
You know, I
No,
was down to Moldar Bounce if it came to it. I am fully prepared on that front.
yeah, me myself, I haven't practiced on that. So if I did find the mirror at that point, I would have just been in full panic mode. I probably would have just gambled it being somewhere in GT.
I noticed for you, JTB, when you first went to Outcasts, not when you first, when you went to Outcasts and you ultimately ended up doing Smith Chain, I saw there was a little hesitation there when you were by the portal. Were you considering Ice Palace, or what was your thought when you were going over there for the mirrorless Smiths?
I don't know if I hesitated for that. I definitely wanted to do. Where was that? That was. I definitely wanted to. There was something over there that made me change my mind. I think it was Hammer Pegs, right? That had something.
Yeah, that was the hook shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I probably was like, do I want to go ahead and continue this, or do I want to turn in or go up to Death Mountain first? But I don't think I hesitated too much though, because it was just a really fast check nonetheless.
Yeah, at that point, once you pick up the Smith, you have to turn them in minimally. You have to at least drop them off before you can head into connectors. So you had to
Yeah,
drop them off before the mountain. But
yeah. Oh, I probably just went to the mountain just because that's like my muscle memory, anyways. Like with full intention to, go back to 3.
you weren't planning on going into Ice Palace, huh?
It was. I saw Hera was a crystal, so I was like, let me just do this first. I don't know if Mirror's gonna show up, so I can mirror in front of GT. So might as well just do this, and if I find it, cool. I can go mode Ice Palace, which I really didn't, anyways. I still was looking for a sword.
Right.
Oh, you weren't a Master Sword at that point?
Yeah, I did full Master Sword for everything except Ganon.
No, you were both on Master Sword until the same tempered that you both got.
Yeah,
You
Rando
were
Room had your tempered sword.
Yeah, I got that for Ganon though. But everything else was just Master Sword fights.
another. I think the big time save that you definitely pulled off, JTB. One, not picking up the ice rod was a small little time save, but opting to go to Vidi with 0 items, getting the first item on Vidi, and then hesitating a little bit but noping out. Gamma ultimately went back in, found nothing in the lobby, a key in Vanilla Big Key, and ultimately sunk in a little bit more time there.
Yeah, that one really upset me right there. Normally, I always gamble on nothing being there, but I already had the map and compass when I found the big key. So I just figured, I'll just do this. I immediately regret it though. As soon as the cutscene was playing, I'm like, no, I should be taking a gamble because this seems kind of linear.
It's rough because you're missing multiple items, right? But one of them opens up the whole mountain, so
Yeah,
you're kind of stuck
yeah, I
because you
was
don't
kind
know
of
what item you're gonna get first. And yeah, JTB
yeah.
was behind early on, doing Eastern Palace Vanilla Big Key. You made that skip and won the 50-50.
Yeah, I would have been really sad because What was it that Armos had? Armos had something big.
Almost had
Almost a
hammer.
hammer.
The hammer, yeah.
Freaking
Yep.
hammer, dude.
If that was on the big key chest, I probably would have last located that. I mean, I think at that point I just had front of escape.
Well, any thoughts before we stop and set up the next match here?
It was a fun race, but we know everyone just wants to watch Fear versus Willard, so you know, I'm glad that I won, but it was still fun to. I'm looking forward to watching this back and watching JP and 1UP coming up right after this too. So it's looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that match right now coming up. 1UP, hopefully you can make up for my horrible mistake tonight.
So as you mentioned, so GG's to both of you. Thank you. And as you mentioned, this next match coming up here on Speed Gaming 5, 11:50 Eastern, we will have Game 2 of this series in Lost Woods Division Finals. WJP TBB versus Team Kappa again. JP versus 1UP. And as alluded to, Fear Agent versus Willard J. Bradley on the mic. Hope to see you all there. I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank Shireen, my co-com, for stepping in. I want to thank Sokol for tracking for us. We'll also be pulling the double header, so well deserved. Thank you. Shireen, you have anything else for us before we send it out? All right. Well, yeah, stay tuned, 11:50 Eastern for Speed Game. Take care, everybody.